Hey everybody, it's JJamJim. Welcome back to episode 11 of our City Skylines tutorial slash Let's Play series. And I started on a beautiful look at our farmland, out in our rural farmland, and then that building erupted on fire just as we got started here. So isn't that lovely? They got to it, they put it out. So my thinking for this episode is I was kind of thinking about the tiles, and we had been talking about this last time in terms of what tiles we're going to get. So currently, we have quite a high demand for industry, and so what I was thinking we could do is we have this tile open. I was thinking we could buy this tile and then create an overpass right here, and then connect up this rural highway over this direction, and then you can seep over into this tile, and then we can continue to make a couple more farming towns and things. I thought that might be nice. So let's buy this tile. Great. We still can buy more tiles. My thinking is, and we talked about this last time, my thinking is that we end up taking these 9, and then if we decide that we want to expand further in this series with mods, we can, and then we can unlock 25 tiles, and that might be cool. So yeah, great. So now that we have this entire interchange in here too, we can also change this interchange to something as well, although we might not need to, since this is at the bottom of where we're going to be building, and it should handle enough traffic because I don't anticipate us having large cities down here. I think if anything, it's going to be pushed to the north here. I think a great place maybe over here would be an airport on this side, kind of service the city. We may end up actually putting another sort of a small city center, maybe just a little bit bigger of a small town than sort of Daffodil Heights here. But it's just something over here that's just a little bit bigger. But I don't know what that is quite yet. But let's work on getting this sorted out. So I think it would be good to have, we could have 1, even 2 crossings of the highway here. But I also don't want to clog it up too much. So maybe we do a, let's see, a 2-lane with sound barriers. I don't know if 2-lane is going to be enough. I feel like maybe we have to go with the 4-lane road and do that instead. So let's go down here, and I think let's keep it, yeah, like right about there. Okay, so let's bring it up to 12, which, let's see here. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm actually going to make it, let's see. I'm going to go out by 5 units. Go to 5 units on the other side. Like that. Perfect. So it's very even going across the highway there. I just want to make the elevated part of the bridge a little bit longer. We'll go down to ground level. At 12 units. Awesome. Actually, what if we kept that elevated? To go over. Just trying to follow the contours of the land there. It's low enough. We'll go down to 0. Great. And then basically, the way I see this kind of happening is we can go out like this, right? And then I'd like to just create a little bit of an, I like to kind of do there. Yeah. I like creating the diamond pattern. So if you're turning right, you have a little bit of a nice curve here instead of having to take a sharp turn. So every right turn is a little bit better this way. It's not like the traffic is going to be necessarily terrible here. I mean, it might be, but it's just sort of aesthetically, I think it's nice. And then off of this, go straight line. So we can't do a straight line. So if you notice, here's a small little tip. If you notice here, it's hard to make the thing go at a 90. It doesn't really want to do that. See how it starts to curve it if we get too close to a 90-degree angle? Although it does do a 90 with this. It's very strange though, but if it's an avenue, it doesn't want to do that. So what we can do is just go like this to about there, and then just upgrade it. Perfect. And this will be a light. Okay. And then what this will turn into is our little town here. This can sort of be our square, and then we can fit perfectly a train station in here to bring people from there to here. I think that might be pretty nice. So I'm just going to leave that for now. This is going to continue on. Kind of wrap itself around there, because this is going to break off into a regular street, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and then off of here, we're going to do a very, very similar thing that we did with our other farming area. And we'll create a district, and we'll do very similar things we did with Daffodil Heights. Alright, so let's do it. So, I can't remember, did we... Right, we had a couple areas... That's right. Just gonna upgrade that a bit. We have like our sort of our main stretch, right? Where we have like shops and things. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay. And then just sort of make these a little random. Do I have them connecting back up to the road? Actually, I do. I think that's probably a good way to do it. It's just, and I like them sort of not being very curved. Although that is kind of nice. It's not a perfect curve though, but we can make it that way. Here I go saying I don't like curves, and then I make a curve. Okay. What if one just goes right off here to this little lake area? And what we can put down here, and it gives us a benefit to use the corner of this tile is we can grab... Oh, did we not unlock it yet? Oh, we must not have. No, we did. I'm just silly. Fishing pier. We can have a couple of them. There. A little place for people to go and fish. We do need to connect it to power, though. Which we will do. I just want to place those down. Let's go out to there and just kind of... Right, we did those sort of cul-de-sac things, which I think it actually would be really nice to do inside of here. So let's do that, like right here. Kind of want to just mirror a little bit of what we did there. So 2 by 2. That's 3. There we go. Same deal here. And maybe instead of farming, because I don't think there's farmland under this over here. There might be some. But the other thing that we can do is make it forestry. So it might be a little tricky because it's going to be on... So remember, we're not... I really don't want to do a lot of terraforming, but we'll see how the houses look on that. I think it might be okay. Okay. Great. And then over here, gonna do one more. Oops. More connection there. Awesome. If what if we connected them via the dirt road? Now, I don't think people are going to choose to take the dirt road because it is so slow to drive, but it would probably stand to reason that that would be a connection that would happen. And then let's just connect this up so we have a nice... There we go. Cool. I like it. So let's see what we have underneath here. We actually have a little bit of ore. I don't know, though, if we want to do the ore out here. I think I would prefer to do some sort of farming type of thing. So what I think we'll end up doing, we have most of it's pines and those taller ones. So let's dot this area with these. Because basically what you can do for forestry industry is create your own. If you want to, if you want to have forestry, just make it yourself by adding trees. Because that is one thing that you can do yourself when it comes to creating industry. Can't add farmland, at least not in vanilla. But you can add your own trees. I'll show you in a second what this did. Add the big ones. Yeah, there we go. bunch more. Oops. Okay, that should be pretty good. You can always add more later. Basically what it did, see how it made it a little more green? It's hard to see, but basically anywhere where there's a lot of forest, like where there's a lot of greenery, see how it's like green laden around it? That basically means that you have more forest now to take from, more natural resources. See, right over there, you can see it a little bit. This should be enough to do that too. So, let's make this a district. Okay. All the way along there. Well, it's a very, very big district, but... And then what I might do with this road is just go like this. Create a little bit more of a village there, I think. Maybe put like a little tax office or something at the end here, you know, be the pillar of the little small community or something, right? Okay, so we'll make sure that this is forestry. Great. I'd like to do the organic local produce because I think that's fun. And I'm also going to make these self-sufficient buildings out here. I don't know if I did that for this one. I did, yeah. They just look a lot nicer with the dirt driveways that they have. Which I mentioned this in an episode, an earlier episode, but they just look better. Because most of them have this fight versus the concrete, which just looks a little stark. It just feels a little bit more like a natural connection, you know? Okay. So, because currently we have no residential demand, so we definitely do need to start filling in some of this. So first, let's put some services out here. We're going to need power. And we're doing okay in terms of the power we have. We just need to run power lines. And I think that makes sense to run it along the highway here. So let's start back here. There we go. Try to keep it as close as possible. Something like that. What we'll do is this will be the first area that we zone. Okay. Water. We're going to have to bring our water pipes out here. Now we'll run all the way along to the end of the map. Now we don't necessarily need to water all of it, but if we ever build anything in between, we'll be covered. Right there. Let's just go to there for now. Cool. Okay, so that's covered. These are coming in already. Let's make sure we have some services out here. I think we'll do a recycling center. But we're going to put it... oh... if...
The Brontosaurus. For millennia, These gentle and graceful giants roamed the earth, grazing off the lush vegetation of the time. Their mere existence transformed the landscape and made a lasting impact on our world. It's that legacy that Dino Oil is proud to continue by using their eons-old
just for now
goop to fuel your 5-door wagon.
Okay.
Making it the oldest.
Should be enough. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't know for sure if it will be, but it will be out of range of the filth and the noise from our general population, which would be good.
This is the Mars official radio with me, Penna Masculine. Daniel has sent us a letter. I'll read it to you. Hello, Penham, and thank you so much for your show. I heard you talking about those unpredictable cravings you described. I've had similar experiences. Not with food, though. No, but I've noticed that my musical tastes have transformed. On Earth, I used to listen to Bach
crematorium
exclusively. After I landed on Mars, my musical preferences have slowly gravitated
police station.
towards the works of Mozart and Haydn. Now I can't stand Baroque music at all. I have no explanation to this phenomenon. Take care, Daniel. Daniel, that does sound like a similar experience. I'll have to investigate this further. In the meantime, more music.
Do some more shops here. Trying not to talk over the people talking on the radio, because that can be just a little bad. I'm just kind of leaving a gap, just for, you know, our own purposes of it, but I think that's kind of nice. Okay. Now, as far as a school is concerned, I think I will put a school out here just to have it, because we are a little low on our elementary school capacity. A little low in the high school too. I guess since this is a little bit bigger of an area, we can afford a high school on here. And then I think this might be a really nice place for a little neighborhood park. Maybe that goes right here in the center. Yeah. It's got a little bit of a country kind of feel to it too, because there's not a lot of concrete underneath it. It's just the path. And we can extend this path to that does connect. Cool. We can go around the high school. Right there. Nice. This can be housing. But let's get where's the basketball court? There it is. Right across the street. Perfect. I'm gonna do that on the other side as well, just to give it a little bit more separation. And then maybe this is also a little bit commercial. This is all residences. We do have a little bit more demand now for them, so they are starting to come in. We don't have power for them, unfortunately, which is not a huge deal, because we can go like that for them, and then we can, I'm actually going to delete this. We're going to move around. It's snapping where I don't really want it to snap. Guess that will do. And right there. Cool, and that should connect all that up to power. And then let's start to get in some more forestry. And we'll also put in some farms out here as well. Did I say farms? I meant houses. I meant houses. Okay. Like that, and like that. And these should all pop in like really, really quickly, because we are in quite excessive demand for it. And like I said, the nice thing about this is we can always add more, or, you know, get rid of more as we need it, or don't need it, you know? It gives us some flexibility. Let's do a little bit more like that. This can be kind of a longer strip. There we go. Cool. And then let's just do little bits of housing. And I think we'll do the cul-de-sacs as housing. And then we'll fill in, you know, whatever needs to be filled in with trees later. Stuff like that. Yeah. Cool. I think that's really good. Let's add a little bit more commercial. Like so. And oh, well, let's put more houses over here as well. Awesome. And then I think all of this we'll have to keep an eye on this, because I'm not sure all of this is going to actually ended up being connected. But what we can do is start the thing over here. The thing. By the thing, I mean the electrical cable. And then we can just sort of... I'm actually going to have it go along here. And I'm going to stop it right there. But what I'm going to do is use a little trick here, where you can use these earthquake sensors. I think we've used one of these before already. Yep, I placed one right here to connect the power up. So I'm going to do that over here as well. Just like right there. That should jump the power. Make that look really nice. Oh, we need to jump power down here. I think down here, maybe we could just have a couple little shops, right? Little bait shops, little snack shops. You can get, you know, a fish sandwich from freshly caught from this rapidly flowing river. Let's see. It'd be nice to sneak that in there. Yeah, but I mean, these don't look like they super connect. But for our purposes, I think, you know, that's just sort of the nature of how these buildings were placed. I would imagine in the future, Paradox and Colossal Order will revamp and revisit some of these. They created these tourism and leisure. This came with After Dark, I believe. These all these buildings. So there's all these like jet ski rentals and marinas and restaurant piers and stuff. They even have like a beach volleyball court and all that stuff. It's very, very cool stuff. The problem is the way it snaps to roads, and it's just, everything is a little too high. I mean, you see how low the land is right here, but the problem is look how high the pier is, right? It's just very, very far off the ground. Not super ideal, probably, for fishing. And so the assets where, like the marina, where the boats will sit in the water, they always end up sitting too low because the marina sits too high. So I think they'll probably release probably another DLC or an expansion where they kind of address some of those issues. But look at these little shops here. Look how nice those are, right? You sit at that little picnic table and look out onto the river. Primo. Primo stuff down here. Awesome. Wow, well that, ladies and gentlemen, that episode absolutely flew by. We still have quite a hefty demand, but we'll see as more stuff comes in. I guess we can fill a little bit more of this in. And, put in some more housing and things. Maybe like right there. Right there. That. Yeah. Very cool. And what's nice about this is it's like sort of hidden away because of how tall these trees are. It's kind of tucked away on the edge of the map, but it's sort of like this little hidden oasis, right? So you come through here, and all of a sudden, you're in this like little tiny small town. And look at that. There's some hustle and bustle here inside between the pines, right? And then you go down here and there's some industry being happening, but it's fairly quiet and reserved, and yeah, I like it. I like it. It's pretty cool. The place beyond the pines. Awesome. I think it looks pretty snazzy. Well, everyone, I think that is going to do it for this episode. I leave you with this image. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of City Skylines. Bye, everybody.